Hey friends, welcome back to OG Universe. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out this video. We're continuing our look at the brand new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman Forever Wave. And today up on the turntable, we're taking a look at the Riddler. Yes, the Riddler made a huge impact in this movie. He was portrayed by actor Jim Carrey. I think he did a really amazing job capturing the kind of eccentric attitude of the Riddler. He did kind of push it a little bit extreme and kind of had a bit of a Joker-esque portrayal in some scenes, but for the most part, he played this part extremely well. The costume looked fantastic. As you can see here, he's got the kind of more classic jumpsuit with all the question marks. He did have four actual changes of costumes in this movie, and hopefully McFarlane Toys will be making these guys into figure form sometime in 2025. We can always hope. There are rumors circulating that there are another wave of figures coming, and hopefully that Batmobile be interesting to see that Batmobile when it comes out very soon. I believe October is the release date. I pre-ordered it. This is the first time I'm ever pre-ordering a vehicle and a Batmobile, to be specific. There's been a few already that we've gotten out, but I just haven't decided to get them. I don't know, really want to take up the space. It's going to be a big vehicle, but for this one I will, because I really enjoyed Batman Forever. So without any further ado, let's take a look at what we get. Then we'll deep dive into the Riddler. So for starters, you do get the oversized window packaging to accommodate the Build-A-Figure. You get some zany photography of Jim Carrey as the Riddler. You got a display stand on the side here. You got the Riddler from Batman Forever. I really like that logo there. That's really nicely done. And on the back, you get the Nightmare Man bat that we're going to build, and the pieces that go with which figure, how you put it together, cross-sell at the bottom of all four of those guys. And you do get some interesting things. Now, when I first saw this, I was quite shocked because you get this giant carcass of the Nightmare Man bat. Kind of looks odd in packaging. You know, if you're not collecting the entire wave, you're stuck with this big monstrosity of a body. And it is actually quite substantial. It does have a lot of weight to it. But you also get a really nice touch here. This is the bat bomb that the Riddler uses to blow up the Batcave. And you get a couple hands. You get a sprawled out hand and a fisted hand. So not too bad. Now you also get the cane. Now the cane is a very interesting aspect. It's painted in this beautiful gold color, but unfortunately it is so, I don't want to say cheap, but it's very, very pliable. This thing was so warped out of the packaging, it's still warped. Jim Carrey, or the Riddler, excuse me, had both hands on this thing, and they just twisted it and warped it. So you're probably going to have to do a little freezing and kind of repositioning and shaping to get this to be straight, but it looks great. The question mark looks phenomenal. It did have a lot of uses in the movie, which was great, and he did have another version of this cane with a skull in it as well, so hopefully we'll get that down the line. I just watched this movie a little while ago, actually a couple days ago, just to kind of refresh my memory and to say that, you know, it is actually a really fun movie for its time. Very light, so to speak. Not as light as Batman and Robin. Batman and Robin was definitely just a movie to sell some toys, but this one was really good. I very much enjoyed this movie. And then after watching Batman and Robin and Batman Forever, I definitely had to watch the Dark Knight trilogy to get that more realistic Batman. That one I absolutely love. That Christian Bale portrayal. And man, that was some spectacular movies. But anyways, back to the figure. So he is really captured well. Jim Carrey's likeness captured perfectly in this form with that crazy mop top head, you know, that flat top. He's got the really bright orange, which I thought was quite interesting. It did a bit of a different turn. Usually we've seen him with black hair or brown hair, but yeah, the bright red orange hair looked fantastic. The mask, the way it's just inlaid into the body, into the head, it looks fantastic. It's a very nice skin tone as well, casting that really more realistic plastic. So it looks great. And then the overall bodysuit, just question marks absolutely everywhere. There is some spots where it's a little lacking. Could have had a bit more going down the side here, but they didn't skimp out and not put any on the back. I think they didn't put anything on the back that would have been detrimental to the overall appearance of this character. So he's got question marks all over his body. But yeah, maybe a couple more question marks would have been nice, but at least they're all on nicely. They're just spread out. There's no bleed through, no kind of defects. It looks really nice. And it's got a different body block. So I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, because it's so lanky, this could be very similar to the Mr. Bloom. Maybe parts of Mr. Bloom are appropriated with this figure because that is a lanky, tall figure as well. So it's very interesting to see that. Now, one aspect I really like are these shoes. At certain angles, you can see it's almost like a black, right? Had a bit of green in it, very like dark hunter green. But at the very top here, when the sun hits it perfectly, you can see that light or shade of green. So that's just a really cool little paint effect that makes this guy really stand out. And it's just got some loafers on there, some really nice green paint. I really like the way this figure looks, and he is awesome. I think this guy, again, like just like Two-Face, he blurs the line between the movie version and comic book stylization. I think you can go either way with this guy, just like Two-Face. He sit well with a lot of the comic book version of Batman and some other characters, and I think Riddler would do just well, just fine. So let's take a look at some other details about this figure. One thing that really kind of captures that imagination is that look. Like he's just got this eccentric look. He's gonna do some damage. He's so wide-eyed and so excited. He just found out the secret identity of Batman. He's trying to emulate Bruce Wayne, and it's like, man, it's just a really well done face, and it captures so much expression, so much emotion. It's just fantastic. So great looking figure. Let's check out some of the articulation. So the head can look up, side, not too bad. Down, not much going on there. Does have the spacer joints. Would have been nice to see some question marks going on through there, but these spacer joints are giving you a bit more range of motion. You got the bicep cut, ball joint of course at the shoulder, double joint ratcheted elbows, ball joints at the hand. Now for the torso articulation, he's not too bad. He can look back somewhat, not too shabby there. Forward, not much going on, but he does have a ball joint at the abdomen and the waist. Ball joints at the hips, double jointed ratcheted knees. You got the ball joint there, it's sculpted. You got toe articulation. You got ankle rocker, pivot, everything else going on. So great. As usual, some really stellar articulation. And I had a lot of fun just kind of posing this guy around, doing some exaggerated, kind of fun, articulated poses. And he's got some really nice, tight ratchet joints. So you can get him into any kind of pose you want. And he's going to stay there celebrating a victory, whatever you kind of want to do there. But man, just a really well done Riddler. Again, I'm shocked how good these figures turned out. Just like the Batman and Robin figures, man. I had no intention of getting them. They showed up in my GameStop, my Toys R Us, right around Christmas time, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. These guys look phenomenal, and we had a great time reviewing those figures. I got something special planned for sort of an amalgamation of both Batman and Robin and Batman Forever, and seeing how these figures interact with each other. So stay tuned to that. It'll be a special video. But man, Riddler is fantastic. He looks so damn good. Captures that eccentric look of Edward Enigma, the Riddler. So let's do some comparisons with some other figures. His wave mate here, his diabolical duo here, Two-Face, another spectacular looking figure. They captured the likeness of Tommy Lee Jones to a T, and this is probably one of the best sculpted heads that McFarlane has put out so far this year. It's absolutely amazing. The texture, the detail, the paintwork, absolutely phenomenal. They are killing it, doing a fantastic job, and these two guys just look awesome together. And again, both of these can straddle that line between comic book version and your movies. So another figure I want to bring out, and that's a Batman. Yes, a Batman. This is George Clooney Batman from Batman and Robin. I really do like this figure. Very drab on the paint because that's the way it was in the movie, and it's a little bit shorter as well. And I like how lanky the Riddler is. He looks, he's got a statuesque, very slender, thin body, and it's captured well here. It really suits the aesthetic of that character, and I like the way these two guys look. This is a fun Batman. Unfortunately, I have not been able to track down another one, so I can do some toy surgery and do some repainting on this figure, but I'll just enjoy them like this. Who knows, down the road I might come across one. If I do, this guy's going under the knife and he's going to have some toy surgery done on him. But very cool to see these two guys together. And then I almost see this figure as kind of like an extension if Robin would have kind of progressed into the movies, and I really do like the way this Tim Drake Robin looks. He is very stylized. He looks absolutely fantastic. And man, these two guys look good together as well. So again, comic book styling, movie, blended in the lines, and we can have these guys on the same shelf together in some sort of epic battle. Definitely very cool. And then of course, let's bring in one of my favorites again. This is kind of like the Nightwing version of Robin from Batman and Robin. Really great stylization, cool costume. These two guys look great as well. Good size and height. And of course, I want to bring this guy in. So this is probably the hands down favorite Batman, and it's the comic book stylization that I really want to see the difference between these two. Now, he is sporting a weapon that I found from the original Batman Forever, pretty sure it's Batman Forever toy line. So we're gonna do some paints on that. We're gonna break it, make it a little bit brighter silver, maybe a bit of a black wash on it. But seeing these two guys together, they look great. I really do like the height difference. I like how he can definitely fit in with their comic book characters. That's fantastic and a really good transitional piece for this figure wave as well. And then we'll bring in one of my other favorites from this line, and that is Robin. Robin is looking really good. Seeing these two guys together, man, bring back 1995. Really amazing to see these guys together. And then I want to bring one other Batman that I think could be almost an extension if they kept going with Michael Keaton as Batman. We got this version I did some toy surgery on. This is the Batman versus Superman Dawn of Justice Batman with his trunks painted. We got a little bit of modification on the head. We used the Flash head from the Flash, or excuse me, the Batman head from the Flash movie. It turned out super great. It has that really nice styling from Michael Keaton. And I think this is a great transition to see these two guys together. Kind of again, straddling the line between comic book and movie, and they both look awesome. So there you go, guys. We had a really good time reviewing, playing around with this Riddler. I think he is an absolutely stellar figure. A definite good purchase, a must-have purchase. If you're building the Nightmare Man Bat, you want to have the entire wave, of course. But if you're being a little selective and just want certain characters, I would definitely select Riddler as well. He's got that huge carcass body, which you could chuck or do whatever you want with it, sell it off. But the figure itself is stand out spectacular. I love the articulation. I love the body proportions. Only little gripe, maybe a couple more question marks on the side profile. Would have been great on the bodysuit, on spacers. But otherwise, man, it's a stellar home run figure. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. We got Batman next, and then we're going to do some other fun things with this entire lineup in the Batman and Robin movie wave as well. So stay tuned for that. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, turn on those bell notifications so every time I make a video, it jumps right into your feed and you're good to go. So again, thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a spectacular, awesome day, and we will see you in the next one. Take care, guys.